Hey everybody, you're watching Cole the Corn Star. Today we have an incredibly exciting day. We are going to be pouring concrete in the underground movie theater. We have all the rebar stuff ready. So concrete pumper is supposed to be here in an hour, and then in an hour and a half, the first concrete truck is supposed to come in, and I believe we are going to be pouring 8 concrete trucks today. Now, if you're not familiar with construction, concrete days are usually pretty high stress and everyone is on edge because when concrete is flowing, everything's all good, but it gets hard almost like that. So our margin of error is small. And this is something we are going to be looking at for the rest of our lives. So we need to do it right. Hence, not a lot of time. You need to have it perfect. Stress levels can sometimes be a little elevated. Now, fortunately for us, everybody in our group is pretty stress-free when it comes to stuff, and it's just water under the bridge. If something doesn't go right, hey, we'll be able to get it taken care of. So I really don't think we are going to have any problems. Nobody's going to be blowing their top today, but we are definitely going to be running around and hustling. Now, I believe we are going to have a ton of help today. Justin is going to be here. Cooper, my brother, is going to be here. Zach's going to be here. My dad's going to be helping. I think we're going to get help from Presley. We may get help from Austin. Roman is going to be here, and then I am going to be here. So there is going to be potentially 8 of us running around down there, which is a good thing. There's going to be a lot of 2-guy jobs where 2 guys will be able to work on the same thing, and then we should be able to buzz through this pretty quick. We want to be able to get the concrete pumper out of here as fast as possible because he's around $200 an hour just to sit here, so we don't want him sitting around here all day. And then the concrete guys have other things to do better than sitting around here, and they can't wait here forever because the concrete will harden in their truck. So we're going to try to keep things moving. Now, keep in mind, we have never done anything like this before. Okay, I take that back. We have done smaller pours of footings, but those are, it would be kind of like you making a birdhouse in shop class versus building a whole house. We've built birdhouses in the past, but we haven't done a whole house before. So we're going to be learning, but I think with all the experience that we've had on other things in the past and all the YouTube videos that we watched, we will be just fine. Dobry ranek.
Dobry ranek. Is it poured yet?
Almost. In an hour.
Okay, I'll stretch here for an hour.
Morning, Zach.
Buenos noches.
No, that's good night.
No, I know.
Now, I know I said that we have everything 100% ready to rock and roll, but I got a little bit excited and I did not mention that we need to get the rest of the rebar laid in that bump out for all the vertical pieces. So Dad, Cooper, and Zach are going to get that finished up. That should not take them very long. And then we need to walk along and make sure that all of the rebar chairs that are under our bottom mat are tipped up. There are a couple that are tipped over on the side, like if we look right there, that one is tipped over. We cannot be having that. So we just need to walk around the entire thing, double check, make sure they're all flipped up. If they're not, hop down in there, pick it up, flip it underneath. And then we also need to just make sure that we don't have any debris or trash or anything down in there. And then once we get all that done, all of this will be 100% ready to pour. And then up on top of this little ledge that I am standing on, we have this spot. We need to get a little rebar mat made in here. We need to get some forms made around the top, and then we also need to get a top rebar mat made. So I'm going to be working on that. Maybe I can get Roman to help me. That should not take us very long as well, but once we get those things done, then we will be literally sitting here. We got all the tools ready to go last night, so then we just gotta wait for concrete to show up. In order for us to get our bottom mat and top mat of rebar made, as well as our stirrups to separate them apart, I need to grab the concrete. No, not the concrete. Oh boy, it's too early in the day for this to be starting. We need to grab the rebar cutter and we need to grab the rebar bender. So it looks like we got the rebar bender right here. Oh boy. And I think the rebar cutter is hiding around the corner right here. Yes, sir. Oh yeah, that one's heavy, real heavy. Ooh. I gotta 2-hand this one. Wow. Grab a tape measure while we're over here as well. Might need that. Got frosty last night and it's all thawing now, so everything's all wet. Wet and cold.
I'm just coming up from the ladder. I thought I'd say hi to you guys. So hello there, world.
The pumper truck is here.
I got all my rebar pieces cut. Roman and Justin got the form made up there. Cooper and Justin are now getting the rebar pieces set in and tied. Zach and Presley are going around making sure that chairs are tipped up, and they're climbing in there and fixing them if they are not. And then I'm walking around the rest of the side doing an inspection just to make sure everything is looking okay. The rebar chairs primarily got tipped down on that end, at least what I've been in so far. None of these ones have been tipped over. I pulled out a couple pieces of wood. Otherwise, everything is looking good. The pumper guy is getting set up. Concrete should be here in about 20 minutes. Okay, here we go. Boom truck is all set up. He's ready to rock and roll.
Concrete's over the hill.
Concrete is coming. I heard somebody yell, so they must see him coming. It's 9:04, so concrete's 4 minutes late, but that's all right, because we're still getting some touches finalized down here. We're pretty much done. Dad's cutting some screed boards right now for us, so that way we can get things nice and flat. I've been running around with a hand trowel just trying to clean up some spots. I think we're ready. How much slump can you have to run through this? What's the smallest?
As long as it runs good on the chute,
Okay.
I can pump it.
Okay.
You know, the problem is when it's not really well mixed. When it comes chunks that it didn't mix well, that's the problem. But if it's mixed really well, even if it's a 3, I can pump it.
Or not. I assume so. You're gonna do the end of it?
What's going to be the key to success today, Justin?
Cross our fingers.
We got everybody here working super hard. Dad's going along. He's making sure the top of our keyboard is all cleaned off. Roman's getting things leveled out nicely with the mag flow. Got Austin running a screed right there to get things leveled off ahead of Roman. Presley's also running a mag flow, and he's running that behind Justin, who Justin is screeding and he's floating. And then Cooper and Zach are down there. Cooper's running the chute, and then Zach's running the vibrator. And then I'm the guy running around providing people with stuff they need, so Zach needs a battery right now. And then I'm also running up finishing troweling behind everybody, just in case a little area got missed, or if they didn't have time to get a spot looking nice, then I'm just running up behind everybody and doing the final touch. Try to get the bull float ready. We're at the wide spots now. We're able to do pretty much everything else with our wooden screeds. There are a couple areas that are a little wide, I bought this and I did not set it up, so I need to turn this on here so that way we can actually use it. This is a special one. When you turn it, then it'll change the pitch of this, so then you don't have to tip it up or down like you would with the traditional one. So this is kind of a fancy unit, but we gotta get it set up.
The bumper truck is getting cleaned up. Cole was just 1 or actually half yard extra on his calculations, so good job on that. And now we're kind of dealing with a little bit of a extra concrete here while we're finishing everything off. So we're probably like 70% done, so everyone got themselves a little job and we're going after it.
Okay, I'm going to be fully transparent here. See how you can see the moon over my shoulder? That's because it's just about dark. We actually got 100% done pouring this and getting everything all smoothed out, and we got everything done in 3 hours. We basically got done with concrete in 2. We got started a little after 9 o'clock, got done a little after 11, and we were all eating lunch by noon with all of this being done, tools all cleaned up and everything. And then to be completely honest, this has been such a weight off of my shoulders, because now if it rains or anything, we don't have to worry about anything silting down in the trenches or anything like we did before. So once we got all this done, to be honest, I got an ice cream. I sat down and ate it. I've been talking to a bunch of people, and I've just been kind of coming over to the hole, looking down in here and admiring. And it is now about dark. So once we got the concrete done, it has not been a very productive day, but it has just been a good day. And it just does not get old looking down in at all of this concrete. Take a look at that. Oh my goodness, that looks awesome. Now, if you notice, some of our rebars are not perfectly straight. We are going to let that concrete set up and harden, and then we will just be able to come in there, and then we're going to try to bend them all straight up and down. So some of them are pretty good, but some of them are fairly bent. And then like right there, that is going to be a doorway, so we did not put any in there. And then there's going to be a doorway over there as well, so we did not put any there. And then our final doorway is going to be right there. I honestly have not been down here since we got done pouring it earlier today. I've just been looking down in from the top. This is going to be our first step on the concrete. Oh, look at that. Absolutely incredible. Look how this pour turned out. Not too bad for a big group of amateurs here. Look at that. It got up to about 50 degrees today while we were pouring, and it is cooling down quick right now. Wouldn't be surprised if we're in the low 40s. We can see we have a pretty nice little sheen to it, so it is extremely green yet. So I probably don't want to go along like kicking our toes down into it or anything. We might mark it up. Oh yeah, look, you can kind of see my footprint right here, just in the top a little bit. And if I rub my finger, maybe we might be able to mark it up a little bit. Oh yeah, we just marked up a little spot right there. So definitely extremely green, but it is all going to set up. We don't have to worry about anything moving anymore. We are out of the danger zone with our forms moving. So, man, I don't know what else to say other than I am super pleased with how this turned out. It's always super interesting when we actually get started with construction on things, because when we started all this, it was just an idea in my head. And then I took the idea and then I put it down on a piece of paper, but you just don't get the same level of visualization on a piece of paper as you do when something is actually here. I'm going to explain how everything is going to lay out, but the sun is going down extremely quickly, so I'm going to wait till it's actually light so then we can actually see, and then we will need to get to work pulling these forms apart. It is now about 12 hours later and tenemos una problema. It's raining. Oh wait, it's not a problem because we have our concrete poured. Woo! I tell you what, the weight has been lifted off the shoulders. Look at this thing of beauty, 45 degrees with rain. This is perfect, super slow concrete curing weather, which is what we want. Slow cure is a nice cure. We don't want it to cure too fast, but look at that. Look at that. To be completely honest, I knew that it was going to rain today, but I thought it was going to do it overnight. So I'd be able to show up today and then be able to go give a nice little tour of how the underground movie theater is going to lay out and then get started pulling those forms apart. But it's starting to rain harder and harder now, so I don't think we're gonna be doing that. I guess we still can give a tour from up here. So the area up top, this is going to be the entrance way to the underground movie theater. So you're gonna walk in right there and you can go right or you can go left. And then there's gonna be a wall right there. So you walk around the wall to be able to get in. So you can get in the left side or the right side. And then where this set of rebar is, that is where the drop off is going to be. And then these stairs going down will start right there and then they'll end like somewhere right in there. And then so we'll have seating up here on the top. There will be seating on the middle step, and then there will be seating where the white roll is right there. So there will be 3 rows of seating, and then the screen wall will be where that row of rebar is right there. So this entire area is going to be the underground movie theater spot. I don't know what we're going to do with the little bump out area yet. We left a little spot for a door in the middle, so we really can do whatever we want there. And then where that opening is in the back, we are going to have a staircase that's going to run up to that corner, and that's going to take us straight up into the garage. And then we are going to have a big room on the back side. There's going to be a spiral staircase right there. There's going to be a spiral staircase right here. So I will be able to go from my bedroom, which will be right above that, and I can walk down underneath of the house, come through this room, and then I can come up in a spiral staircase right here, and that will pop up in my office. And then my office will be right here up above on ground level, and then that will be right next to the gym, which will be right there. So I will be able to have nice access underneath of the house. I just thought that would be kind of cool. So that's why we did that. But that is going to be the full layout of the underground movie theater. Woo! I tell you what, this rain is cold. Ugh. So I guess with it raining, we are going to move on to the next thing that we need to get done, which is to take the dimensions that we have for the underground movie theater and move these plans from paper onto computer. I've been using this free designing app on the iPad to do all the other designing for the entire new edition and the remodel that we have been doing. So I can just draw lines on it if I can get it to work here. And then it shows the dimensions of everything. You can pick how thick you want the walls and stuff to be. So I really just need to transfer all of these dimensions onto this. And once they're on there, then I can turn them into a PDF file. And then once they are in a PDF, then I can email that file out. And it sounds like that's all the form builder people need to put together our order. So we are going to try to put this together. Now I do know I have a door right there, I have a door right there, and I have a door right there. I do not have the dimensions for the door right here or the dimensions for the door right there. So I will have to get those later when it stops raining, but we should be able to do the rest. I apologize if it sounds a little bit windy. We got a nice little breeze rolling through here. I got started making stuff out on the iPad, and there was a couple dimensions that I did not have on Roman's drawing. And it stopped raining, so I decided to come over here and get those last dimensions. And since it rained, we can now honestly evaluate how well we did at leveling everything off. Now, I know I said a little bit ago that it was 40-something degrees out and raining. It feels like it's 40-something degrees. It actually feels colder than that, but it's actually 53, 54, so we are in a nice, slow curing environment for the concrete, but we can tell that things are starting to cure. We're starting to get that nice little light color going. You can see in some areas, like where the water's at, It's darker. It looked like that basically right after we poured it. But once we start getting this nice little white, it's doing its thing. It's starting to get harder. Looking through here, this was the best section that we poured, which it should be because we had a screed board on the outside. We could get it perfectly level. So everywhere we have a puddle, that is a spot that is a little low. Right here, we were kind of in the middle of no man's land with our corner, so we didn't have really anything we could screed off of on the side. So this puddle is, well, let's go to the deepest point, right to water level, is that deep. So we're talking half an inch deep right here. I think this is the deepest puddle that I've been able to find. Everything else is extremely minor, and this is going to be inside of the foundation wall anyway, so we are going to be pouring concrete, and that's going to be full of concrete, so our form is actually going to be sitting right here. So I'd say we did pretty well. Our second area, our biggest deep spot, which is the same depth of the spot we had before. Actually, it might be just a hair less. It's about the same. But that's right here. Same thing. We had this big long board running right through the middle, so probably just got a little bit of bow to it, but half inch off, not bad. Everything else looks great. This backside looks awesome. Hardly even have a puddle on it whatsoever. Wow, that looks good. This side, same thing. Look at that. I am super impressed for a bunch of really low experienced people. I'd say this turned out absolutely phenomenal. Look at this. There's not even a standing puddle through here. Wow. Super pleased with how this turned out. Getting those measurements helped immensely. We needed to cut a doorway there, we needed to cut another doorway there, and then we needed to cut a doorway there. So once I got all those, I was able to take Roman's notes, put them on the iPad. We were able to make things look a little bit prettier, a little bit more digital, and then I was able to take it from the iPad to the computer, and then I can make it look real fancy and get all the dimensions and stuff, get things color-coded. The only thing that I do not have is the heights of the walls. So we are going to have 3 different heights of walls right here. So when it stops raining outside, we will be able to set the laser up and get those. But otherwise, we got everything else completely done. I think I'm now at a great place to go spend some time with my family. I suggest that you do the same. This is all we got for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.